Joining us now is Edna Yang, Executive Director of American Gateways, the local nonprofit providing legal services in that case. Thanks so much for being here, Edna.
Thank you for having me today.
So, Edna, let's first get an update on the Carlos Daniel Terán case. What's next?
Well, last Wednesday, the district court judge ruled that the Trump administration did violate the due process rights of the 140 individuals that were unlawfully sent to the prison in El Salvador, and that includes my client, Carlos Daniel. He did give the administration a week to figure out a plan so that those individuals could access the justice system, be able to review their removal cases or their deportation cases, apply for relief, and get access to our justice system here. We're waiting to see what that plan looks like. We're not sure. The judge wasn't willing to order the administration to bring all those individuals back. So for now, hopefully by this Wednesday, we'll have some sort of plan and indication about what's going to happen to Carlos Daniel and the other men who are there.
And how is this case emblematic of the larger concerns that you have as an advocate for immigrants' rights about due process and other constitutional matters?
Yeah, I think what we've seen in the last 5 to 6 months has been a slow erosion of our constitutional rights and of due process in general. And I think it should be worrisome for the community at large, not just the immigrant community. Right now, it's targeting the immigrant community. We have actions where this administration is arresting individuals who are in deportation proceedings. They're doing what is legally required of them, coming to court, showing up in order to apply for relief, answer charges, and, if their case gets denied, they get ordered deported. If not, then they are able to remain here because they've won a form of relief. Before individuals can actually get through that justice process, ICE is showing up at the courts. They are seeking terminations of those proceedings, and then they are directly arresting people, oftentimes in front of their small children who have no idea what's going on, detaining them and then forcing them to give up their rights to access the justice system. These are individuals who are following everything that the law tells them that they need to do in order to seek protection here in the United States. And so we're seeing that erosion slowly in this arena, but it's going to expand, I think, if we don't really try and check what is currently happening to some of our most vulnerable in the community.
And now we're seeing videos from around the country circulating of ICE showing up and community members gathering to try to stop ICE from taking individuals. And as you think about what's been happening with immigration enforcement this year, how does the impact compare to your expectations?
So I think when this administration came into power this January, we were expecting definitely blowback for the immigrant community because of the things that were said about deportations, about there being an invasion, and just targets against the immigrant community. I think the extent of what we're seeing right now is much more than I or other advocates or the immigrant community really thought was going to happen. There's a lot of fear in the community because individuals who have their work permits, who are seeking forms of relief, who are waiting for decisions from immigration are now at risk. And before, they didn't have to be at risk or they weren't at risk. There were definitely protections for those individuals who are going through a legal process. And now I think there's no guarantee for anyone, even those going through legal processes. I think people are concerned about what this means, not only for the immigrant community, but also for the community at large. When you have threats of an administration saying, we're under invasion, so we want to get rid of habeas corpus. We want to send individuals to third countries where they may remain in jail for the rest of their lives for not having committed any type of criminal violation or having any type of criminal conviction, that should concern all of us. And so we're starting to see some of that come to light. I think that there have always been advocates, attorneys, community members who have been pushing back against this, filing in court, asking for justifications and questioning what is happening. But I think we as a community need to respond even more and ask why this is happening and what we can do to prevent it.
We've seen a number of court decisions that have blocked or put on hold some of these enforcement actions. But overall, how have the courts responded in your view?
I think the courts have responded well in some cases, by saying that the Trump administration can't use the Alien Enemies Act, by saying that there are due process rights when individuals are told that they are going to be sent to third countries where they have no ties. But I also think that this administration has pushed back very hard against our judicial branch, and they've threatened those individuals who are making these decisions. And so I think some of the decisions could be stronger. I think they could be enforced. And I think there could be more of a discussion of what our Constitution says and what our justice system is and what it's supposed to do in terms of checking power.
And you've touched on this, but just to reiterate, what do you think is the greatest risk in our democratic system or principles because of this?
I think it is an erosion of our constitutional rights, the very basis of our justice system, which is due process. The idea that if you are going to be accused of something, you will know who is accusing you and what you're being accused of in a criminal context, or even in a civil context if someone is suing you or you're in deportation proceedings. If you're going to be detained, there should be a check on how long you are detained for, the reason that you are being detained. It shouldn't be something where you could be sent to essentially a black site or to a third country where you have no ties, where you sit in jail and you're forgotten. I think our Constitution very much holds these beliefs that justice can only be done when these rules are followed and that no one person or branch has complete and total power. And so we need to continue down the path to ensure that due process is preserved, because if not, I think we're going to have some problems with the very foundations of our government, our form of government, our Constitution, and the justice system.
Edna Yang with American Gateways, thank you so much for this update and for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment below to let us know your thoughts on this video. And don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Austin Insight for free in the PBS app.